The change in Sonic's design due to the public outcry ended up being one of the best things that could have been done because it saved the movie from possibly being a huge flop due to audience being against the design. And smart thinking. That was kind of one of the things that, I was surprised, and a lot of people were surprised that the studio even went ahead and changed it. Man, but in any case, so Sonic is a movie that I didn't honestly think was going to be great. I knew I was going to take my son to go see it. I may get some enjoyment out of it. He may end up loving it, and then we call it a day, and I could forget all about it. It ended up not really being that. I ended up really liking the movie. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It has a certain kind of kiddish type of nature to it, kiddish tone to it, but still it was done in the right way. So this movie is about Sonic, who enters our world due to being chased by some bad guys from his home world. And after spending some years alone, he is forced to rely on a small town cop for help because again he is on the run, but this time by the evil Dr. Eggman, who wants to use Sonic's power for his own benefit. And yes, this movie was way better than what I hoped. It's not a perfect movie. It does have a lot of cheese and a lot of corniness to it. And it does have a lot for adults to enjoy as well as for kids to enjoy. So it is a pretty good family film. And just to note, here is a really good drinking game. Every time Sonic or someone else mentions the word friend or friends, take a shot. You won't remember to thank me later. And so James Marsden plays the cop who feels like he needs to get out of his town into the big city to further his career because he just to kind of feel a sense of purpose. And the way he portrayed his character, I really did like it. He did a good job in his role, but I really did like mostly when he was, had scenes with Sonic. I love the engagement between both characters, the chemistry and everything else. And Ben Schwartz, who does the voice of Sonic, does a really good job. And his voice really does fit the character of Sonic. And he brings a lot of personality, a lot of charisma to the character, which actually made Sonic really enjoyable throughout the whole film. And then the way that Sonic is written in the movie, I can't object to it because I really did enjoy the way that the character was handled. And it was better than what I thought. And honestly, Jim Carrey was a very huge highlight of the film. His character, Dr. Eggman, has a great introduction, and he nailed it perfectly. With the introduction, you understand what type of person you're going to get throughout the whole movie. And he does have motivation behind the reasoning why he is the way he is. And Jim Carrey is back to form with this character. If you love the Jim Carrey of old, you're definitely going to love his character because he becomes it becomes nostalgic for whoever grew up with Jim Carrey's humor, but at the same time he doesn't miss a step when portraying Dr. Eggman. And this movie, it does have a lot of great action scenes. The humor was really good. Some of it was hit or miss, but overall still good. The visuals I really liked. And I'm not even gonna lie, but the laser scene at the end of the movie was just completely badass in all of its wonderful execution. And I just learned recently that there were going to be more characters added to this movie, but the studio opted out because it would have been too soon to introduce said characters like Tails or Knuckles, seeing as a lot of people may not know who the other characters are beyond that if you haven't played the games. And just on a movie aspect, like, it would have been just kind of like too much to cram because you need other characters to set up. And that would have just been too much, and it probably would have made the movie decrease in value, or just been, it wouldn't have been as good as it was had we had all these crazy, characters around. But in saying that, I do still feel, even after watching this movie, I do still feel like this should have been an animated film. But I did enjoy it nonetheless, but that would have been a way to kind of like get away with having more characters like a Tails or a Knuckles or whatever in the movie because those characters you could have been just focused on and not a real life character like James Marsden's character or whatnot, Donut Lord. But overall, I really did enjoy it. It is a hit. So if you need something to watch and you come across Sonic and you're not quite sure on if it is good, trust me, it is good enough to check out. It's not a great film, but it is enjoyable. You and your family will find something really good out of it. So go ahead and check it out.